David Peasy for the defense. May it please the court. Judge, jury, members of the opposing counsel. With no access, there is no accident. We offer our deepest condolences to the Parks family. But it is this courtroom's duty to set aside emotion and focus on the laws and the facts of this case. And today, this court, you have heard the story of two young children, two friends. On August 18th, 2010, set out to play what they thought was a game. The children worked together to retrieve the gun safe's combination from an unlocked drawer in an unlocked room. And then they moved to use this combination to open the park's safe in an unlocked room. These children retrieved from the safe the park's 6-shot 9mm revolver, and they began to play. These friends, these best friends, set out to play with the thing they had found. This combination of curiosity and innocence would turn tragic, as when one child, tired of playing with his gun, that child being Jesse Duran, moved to the living room and turned on cartoons. Sydney disappeared. But then, Sydney returned moments later. Now, Sydney suggested they play roulette the real way. Jesse, Sydney's best friend, didn't want to look afraid, didn't want to disappoint Sydney. So Jesse reluctantly agreed to play with a friend. Sydney opened the cylinder, spun it, closed it, and aimed it at Jesse Duran's head, and then pulled the trigger. Click. She then handed the revolver to Jesse Duran, expecting Jesse to play the game Sydney had set up before them. Jesse didn't want to disappoint her friend. She watched Sydney. She copied Sydney's movements the best she could. That is when tragedy struck. That is when two best friends were separated by an object they should have never been able to get access to. That is when one child was taken from this world forever, and another was left traumatized at the loss of her best friend. The burden in today's case is held by the plaintiff. They've set out to prove to you by preponderance of the evidence that it's 50% in a feather's weight that Jesse Duran intended to cause Sydney bodily harm, intended to shoot her best friend. The defense is pursuing something known as comparative fault. We today have taken it upon ourselves to show you that the actions taken by the Parks led to what occurred on that tragic day. The plaintiff came before you and they told you a story. That story hinging on supposed facts. That story not based on the evidence presented to you today. No. They've hinged their story on the idea that the girl you saw on the stand today was a compulsive liar. The girl you saw on the stand today was a psychopath. They called witnesses to help corroborate this story. They called Andy Park. who you heard tell us that they kept the safe in an unlocked room. They kept the combination in an unlocked drawer in an unlocked room. You heard from Terry Chapin, the witness who admitted to be suffering from a hangover, who admitted this hangover impaired his ability to see, that Jesse Duran expressed no emotion. But ladies and gentlemen, when he asked Jesse Duran what had happened, she broke down. She began crying. As you heard today, Jesse Duran felt remorse. Finally, they called Dr. Couples. He set out to tell you that Jesse was a psychopath, that Jesse meant the absolute minimum requirement for a diagnosis, that Jesse expressed characteristics that just barely put her over that line. Characteristics such as the indifference to the pain of others. Ladies and gentlemen, is a crying 11-year-old girl someone who's indifferent to what she's seen? Is a crying 11-year-old girl someone who is indifferent to what has happened? The doctor claims Jesse feels no remorse. By what you have heard today, that is simply not true. The plaintiff offered you a story. The defense is offering you a truth. That truth, Jesse Duran did not set out to intentionally harm her best friend. That truth, corroborated by witness testimony. Corroborated by what you heard today on the stand. You heard Jesse Duran tell you the story of two best friends playing, of a friend merely trying to have fun, of two children not understanding the power they held in an object they should have never been able to access. DeRosa came to the stand and offered you expert testimony confirming the combination had been kept in an unlocked drawer in an unlocked room. The safe had been kept in an unlocked room. You heard Brooks come and testify. The children played often. And the children played together. They may have had quarrels, but they always worked it out, and they always had fun. Ladies and gentlemen, what you've heard today only backs up the defense's truth. That truth, Jesse Duran did not intend to cause bodily harm, did not intend to hurt her best friend. What you've heard today is the actions undertaken by the parties were the cause of this incident. The combination of an unlocked drawer and an unlocked room, safe in an unlocked room, led to the events today. This is comparative fault, and this is what we have proven to you today. It is now your responsibility, as the jury in this matter, to rule on what you've heard. The defense asks that you rule in favor of Peyton Duran. Asks that you regard the facts in the testimony when making your decision. Thank you.